Hi, this is Dutton. I'm a private money lender, and in this video I'm going to tell you how a private money lender will analyze your deal for funding. Now, when we're talking about analyzing a deal, there's a bunch of different property types. You've got commercial, you've got construction, you've got rental properties, you've got fix and flip. In this video, I'm just going to talk about how a private money lender is going to analyze your fix and flip for funding. The number one thing that a private money lender like myself is going to use when analyzing your fix and flip are your comps, your future value, or your after repaired value. And how do I analyze that? I'm usually going to order what's called a broker's price opinion of after repaired value, or a BPO. And in that BPO, we're going to have two things. We're going to have sold comparables and we're going to have active listings. I'm going to look at both. Now, when I'm looking at the sold comparables to analyze your fix and flip, I'm going to be looking at a bunch of different things. I'm going to be looking at the age of the property, the style. For example, is it a ranch style? Is it a bungalow? I'm going to be looking at the overall condition of the property. Is it livable as is, or is it in terrible, terrible shape and no one can live in it? With the comps, I'm also going to be looking at how far away are the comparables, the sold comparables and the active listings, to your property. I like my comparables to be less than 1 mile away, but in some areas, particularly in more rural areas or resort areas, the comps may be located a little further away. And in that case, we can take that into account. But usually we like those comparables to be located 1 mile or less away from your property. And then, are the comparables going to be in a state, a final condition like what you're planning to do to your property, the finishes, the overall look and feel of the property? For example, is your property going to be up to a modern standard like the sold comparables that have sold nearby? If they're not, then it's probably not going to be a comparable. Now, why do I look at active listings in my analysis of your deal? The reason I look at active listings is because, let's say you're planning to fix this property up to a modern standard and you're going to list it at a certain price, right? Well, what if all of a sudden last week somebody listed a property for sale that was a 1/2 mile away from your property, and it's got the same type of finishes, modern finishes that you were going to use on your property, but they've listed it lower than what you're planning on listing your property for? Well, then you're dead in the water. You don't have a deal there. So that's why I always throw in active listings, because sometimes we're going to find a surprise like that might pop up that maybe you were unaware of, that we can bring to your attention. And what else am I looking at to analyze your deal as a fix and flip for funding? I am looking at the size of the project, the numbers. If it's, a $450,000 purchase price with the $100,000 in rehab and you're looking to sell it for $800,000, those are large numbers. So I want to make sure that you've done, as the borrower, you've done a project of this size before. If you've only done really small projects, I might be concerned that you won't be able to manage or handle a project of this size. And then finally, when analyzing a fix and flip for funding, I am going to look at the size and scope of the actual project rehab, right? The actual budget. Because if you haven't managed a large rehab project before, I'm going to be concerned, and other hard money lenders would be concerned as well. If it's a $150,000 rehab project and you've only done $25,000, $30,000 rehab projects, I'm going to be concerned. So that's a factor that I'm going to look at when I'm analyzing your fix and flip for funding. So we talked about the value, the future or after repaired value, and how we look at that. We talked about the size of your project, the numbers involved, and then we talked about the size and scope of your repair budget and how that would factor into your experience level. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.